Hi. Hi, welcome to my channel Made by Kate. I'm Kate. I know this video might be a little bit late considering 1 month of winter has already passed, but I need a survival plan for the rest of the winter for the remaining 2 months. So that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to tell you about my sewing plans for the rest of the winter. Past couple of years, I've started to notice that winter is not my favorite season of the year, and there are a few reasons for that. First of all, there is not enough sunlight and it's freezing outside most of the time, or at least it's around 0 to 5 degrees Celsius, which is really cold. Well, at least for me it's really cold. And that also means that I struggle with the winter fashion because I don't want to feel cold all the time, and I get fed up with my winter fashion, which consists of sweaters, jumpers, and jeans, even before we hit winter season, because the fall here is still quite cold. So by the start of the January, I get really frustrated with the feeling that I really repeat my outfits a lot and they are not as fun as maybe the rest of the year. So I want to change that this winter. So I want to sew myself my dream winter wardrobe. And we can start with the spreadsheet I prepared. You will see it somewhere on the screen, but I will be using my iPad now, so I will be looking at it. Okay, so here I have 10 projects for winter. As you can see, there are some skirts, some tops, cardigan, shirt, jumper, pants, bucket hat, and ladies' dog bed, which is not particularly a winter sewing project, but we had to throw away her dog bed, so she really needs a new one, and I wanted to make her one, so that's why I put it in here. Under the projects, there's color palette, which I would love my projects to be mainly cream, beige, or light brown, dusty pink, and dark green, red, and blue. Also, the numbering of the projects doesn't mean that I will be sewing them in this order. I was just going random. And we can start with the first project. So first, plaid midi skirt. Here are some of my inspo pics. As I told you, I don't like wearing pants every day in winter, so I was thinking like midi or maxi skirts would be nice. These are just basic plaid midi circle skirts, which I will be making out of this fabric, which is polyester plaid twill, and the colors of it are beige, gray, and pink. And I already bought this fabric and I have it here with me. It is also a brushed fabric, so it's quite nice to touch. And I'm confident with this one that I can self-draft it, because it will be just 2 pattern pieces. One for the waistband, which will be just the rectangle. The other piece will be a circle skirt, which I'm planning on making a half circle skirt, which I've never done before, but it's just geometry, right? So I think I will be able to make it by myself. The second project is another midi skirt, this time a satin one, cut on bias. Here are some of my inspo pics. I love the combination of satin skirts with the big sweaters and maybe oversized tees, as you can see in these pictures. I don't have a fabric yet for this project, so I was thinking obviously it's gonna be satin. 3 colors, this dark green, blue, or pink. Material will be probably polyester. And here are some sewing patterns that I might use for this project, because I really don't think I can do it by myself. Well, maybe I could, but I don't want to ruin my fabric, so I will buy a pattern. So the first pattern is by Lizzy Patterns. It is patterned for a maxi bias skirt, but I would just shorten it a little bit. It is a pattern with the zipper, which I'm a little bit afraid of because I already made one skirt with satin fabric, and my installation of the zipper wasn't the best with this fabric. So the second pattern is by Kiana Bonolo, and there is no zipper, but she used elastic for the waist. So most probably I will buy this second pattern. And the last one may not be necessarily a bias cut skirt, but I don't know, it interested me, so I put it in here. And maybe I will use it for another project later. After a quick pause, I had to take Lady outside for a walk, so Lady, lahni. Šikulka, zostaň. I had to take Lady for a walk. Now we're back and we can continue with third project, which is plaid matching set, miniskirt plus top. As you can see in the inspo pictures, it is just a plain miniskirt, although I want to make a slit on one thigh in the front of the skirt, and I will probably make it a mid-rise and without the waistband. I think I can self-draft the pattern for the skirt because I have a similar one, and I can just make a pattern out of the existing skirt and then modify it. And I want to make a matching top for the skirt, but I'm not sure if I will have enough fabric, so it depends on that. Because I already bought the fabric. It's this blue, green and black plaid fabric, which is mainly polyester. And as far as I know, it's a twill fabric. And it was a scrap fabric, so it was in a discount. And I only have 1.1 meters, so we'll see what top I can be able to make with the remaining fabric after I make the skirt. I'm leaning toward making another fitted vest by Kiana Bonolo, but I already made 2 of them and I'm not sure if that would be too much to make a third one, but I think it would go really nicely together, as you can see in the third inspo pic. But if I don't have too much fabric, I can just make some plain top like in the second picture, so we'll see about that. And for the sewing patterns, I will probably make the skirt by myself, but if not, I could use the sewing pattern by Kiana Bonolo for this double slit skirt. And these other sewing patterns are for the fitted vest if I decided to go with it, also by Kiana Bonolo. Or I was also considering I could be making some boxy top to go with the skirt, and this pixie top by Ita Sewing Patterns is looking nice. So I will decide when the time comes which top I will be making for the skirt. Okay, project number 4 is a long sleeve top, and I will be making more than one. What I'm missing in my wardrobe the most are just basic tops that can be put into many outfits. and I want my tops to be basic but still have something different to them. I mean, all of these inspo pics have, you could say that all of them are just basic t-shirts, or not t-shirts, basic tops, but all of them have something to them, like the first one with the off-shoulder detail, or the second one with the asymmetrical cut and the bell sleeves. The third one, the ruching in the middle part of the top. The next one, it has ruching at the sides of the front of the top. Next, the lattice hem, and the last one is interesting because I think it's the most basic, but at the same time it looks most, I mean it's not looking elegant, but it's not looking plain, and it's just this white neckline detail that I think elevates it, that I think makes it not just simple basic. So I have no idea which combinations or which details I will choose for my tops. I definitely want to make the off-shoulder one and one with the bell sleeves, so we'll see what will I decide when the time comes. Okay, so here are my fabrics, and I already bought all of them. Obviously, all of the fabrics are knits. The first two are cotton plus elastane knit, and the last one is a bamboo plus elastane knit. The white one was supposed to be a bit off-white, but it's pretty white. It is a white ribbed one. Here is the camel one with the which is a classic ribbed knit, and the blue bamboo knit. The bamboo knit is the softest fabric I've ever touched, so I'm really excited to make something out of it. And as for the patterns for these tops, I will probably self-draft all of them. I mean, I will either use my existing top, or I will modify Kiana Bonello's pattern for open back midi dress, which I did before. I just used the upper part of the pattern, and it was nice. I made 2 t-shirts like this. We are reaching the midline of these projects. So 5th project is crop cardigan. I'm just in need of a cardigan that reaches my waistline, as all of the ones I own goes to my thighs. And sometimes with dresses and stuff, it's nicer if the cardigan is shorter. And again, I already bought the fabric for this project. It is this mostly cotton sweater knit in a beige color. It's very soft and nice. And what about the pattern? Again, I will probably self-draft some pattern for this cardigan. But one thing I'm not sure about is how I'm going to finish the edges of the cardigan. So I will have to figure that out, because obviously I can't knit them. I mean, one way would be leaving them raw, but I don't really like the idea. And then I can just, either I can make a lattice hem, or I can roll it under twice and sew like any other fabric, I guess. And as for the inspo pics, I like the length of the second one. And about the closure of the cardigan, I mean, I want it to be open, so I guess I will just make one tie. I'm not sure if it will be out of the same fabric, or I really like the other idea with these ribbons. It's quite late in the evening, so I'm sorry if I'm looking rather tired, because I am tired. Okay, so number 6, flannel shirt. I mean, do I have to talk about this too much? I would like to make myself an oversized flannel shirt. Here is the fabric I will probably choose because I really like it, but I was not able to find another one that I would like, so I will probably stick with this one, with this cotton flannel. Found these two sewing patterns. The second one is for a classic oversized shirt. The first one is for jacket. I hope I said it right. I don't know which one I will choose. I think I can use both of them, so I will see which one I like more. First one is by Anna the Tailor and the second one is by Sewing Machine, which I already used her pattern and I liked it. Okay, number 7, half zip jumper. Again, something I don't think I need to talk about too much. I don't own one and I would like to, so that's why it's here. I'm not sure if I want to make it out of the teddy fabric, which you can see the first one is teddy, or just the basic jumper material. But these are probably the colors I would prefer, so one of these will be the fabric for the project. And I found just one sewing pattern which I liked, and it is this one by, again, Sewing Machine. But I would probably make it a bit longer. I don't want it to be, it looks cropped and I don't want that. What I really like about this pattern are the sewing lines, which are not really necessary, but I think they make the jumper to stand out and to be more interesting, not just the basic half zip. And when I'm saying this, the sewing lines wouldn't be as noticeable with the Sherpa fabric, so I think I will go with the second or third fabric option. Project number 8, corduroy pants. I'm not sure if I'm ready to be sewing this level of a pants, but I really like them and I would love to have them. So I found these mostly cotton corduroy fabrics in these dark red, beige and light or mint green colors. So I would probably choose one of these for the project. And for the sewing patterns, unfortunately, I didn't find the sewing pattern that would have these nice pleats in the front, which are, for me, part of the charm of these pants. I found some, but I'm afraid they are all AI patterns, so I wouldn't buy them. So if any of you watching this video know about sewing pattern for this kind of pants with these front pleats and it is not an AI pattern, please let me know in the comments. I would really appreciate it. If I won't find any other pattern, I will use one of these two I found. First one is by the Modern Sewing Co. And the second one is again by Sewing Machine. I'm not sure which one I will choose, but at the same time I will still be looking for the pleated one. So wish me luck. Finally, we are getting to an end. Last 2 projects, which will be, I think, really quick. First to the last, 9th project is a quilted bucket hat. If you've watched my first 2 videos on YouTube, you know I sewed me and Lady matching jackets, and I have not a lot, but I have some fabric left, and I was thinking I could make me a bucket hat out of the quilted fabric. Yeah, I will just self-draft the bucket hat pattern. I've already sewn bucket hat twice, which once I already self-drafted my pattern, so I think this one will be easy and fun project. And the last project, number 10, is Lady's dog bath. My brain is shutting down, so I really need to finish this. As I told you in the beginning of the video, we had to throw away Lady's dog bed, mainly because she ripped it apart. She just likes to rip apart her toys, and in the process she rips apart her dog beds. It was in a really bad shape, so we just threw it away. So for the dog bed, I really wanted to have a mattress. I know it's a little bit out there, but I want her to be really comfy. And the other thing, it needs to have these elevated sides, because when she's sleeping, she likes to put her head on some surface that is elevated, like, I don't know, like pillows or our legs, or I don't know. And at the same time, she likes to snuggle, and I think she would feel really comfortable in a type of a bed that is the first inspo pick. So I could buy it, but I don't want to pay from 140 euros to 400. That is not my price range, so I will be making hers very similar one. As for the fabric, I'm thinking I could use the first fabric, which is a polyester velvet, which I already used to sew myself a wedding guest dress. I mean, polyester is maybe not the best choice for a dog bed, but I do have a lot of it left, so if I had enough, I might go with this way. And if I don't have enough of the fabric, I would probably buy some cotton corduroy, either in a gray color so it can match with our couch and the curtains, or in some light beige color which would go well with our flooring and the rug we have in a living room. And obviously I would self-draft the pattern for the dog bed. And that concludes all of my sewing projects for this winter. Again, I'm not sure if I will be able to make all of my projects this winter. If not, I will just postpone them for the autumn, for the fall of this year. I think these projects will liven up my winter wardrobe. I mean, I know they are not really out there, they are not very crazy or something, but I like that because I want to make my wardrobe more cohesive, and I want to be able to make more outfits with less pieces. So hopefully this will get me there, because the clothes I used to have there were a lot of statement pieces and a lot of colors, and somehow I couldn't just put them together. I would buy one piece of clothing and I could really make just one outfit. So that's why a lot of these things were just plain colors, not very, I mean, there were no patterns, just the plain ones. Hopefully this video wasn't too boring. I don't usually talk so much. I mean, I talk a lot, but not as much. And yeah, hopefully my next video after this one will be in a week. I would really like to post a video here once a week or at least twice a week, so we'll see how it goes. But sometimes it's really unrealistic with my work. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you've watched this video so far, please let me know in the comments any advice you have for me for my winter sewing plans, any recommendations for patterns, for fabrics, or anything. I will really appreciate it. And if you like this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends who might like it too. Subscribe to my channel if you think you would like to watch more of my videos. And also I have other videos uploaded, so you can go and watch them in the meantime, and see you in another video. Bye.